welcome back to another edition of the SU River Rock Spotlight. I'm your host, Josh Klein. Today, I have the pleasure of being joined by the captain of both the volleyball and softball teams here at Susquehanna University, and Kasey Bost. Kasey, thanks for coming on with me.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. You're a member of both the volleyball and softball teams here at Susquehanna. Can you talk about how you managed to excel in both sports?
So with both sports, with them being in the fall and the spring, I have to miss like the fall season for softball and the spring season for volleyball. So when I'm in each season, I just kind of have to put in extra work in those seasons. So just being totally focused on each one kind of just like helps get back on track for each one. And I just go in extra work and just be totally focused on that one. And also like any sport, like the games don't really go as planned. Sometimes you have like great games, you have bad games. So I just, for both sports, just have kind of like little reminders of like why I play, and everyone jokes around like I wear like this wristband, like I'm second all the time, because just like play for something bigger than yourself. And I even have like a tan line from softball from wearing it, and just like stuff like that to help me like remind myself to stay on track and to continue working hard for both of them.
And you're captain of both teams. What type of challenges or obstacles does that create?
It's awesome. I feel like both my coaches really support me and want me to do well and give me opportunities like to lead both teams really well. But with that, like I feel like both my coaches also are like, Kasey, do this, Kasey, do that. But both my teams make it so easy to just like be friends with them, to lead them, to get to where like we want to go. Because there's a total for both teams, probably like 40 girls that are just like 40 of my best friends, like just like getting to see them like excel in the sports and also off the court. So it's really, they make it easy, but sometimes it is a little hard, like trying to balance like doing things for the team and getting to where we want to go in the end as well.
And during the past volleyball season, you were able to get your 1,000th thing in your career. Can you talk about what that experience was like?
That was awesome. I'm never one to like be any, like I didn't even know I was close to 1,000, to be completely honest. Like my teammates were like the ones who were like, hey, you know that you're like 5 digs away? And I'm like, no, I didn't, but like that's awesome. And when I did get my 1,000th one, like my whole team just like went crazy and just made me feel like so loved throughout the whole one. And so it was just so fun, like that atmosphere, playing like that. And all my teammates have also reached like those goals and milestones, which is just cool to celebrate with them.
You were a part of NCAA tournament runs in both volleyball and softball. Can you talk about what those were like?
That was my freshman year, so I think coming in, it was like, I was like, I'm along for the ride, like this is awesome. But looking back on it, I think I learned that like that's our ability on both teams. Like we can go into the tournament on both teams every single year. You know, like that, like we can do that, and that's like where we can be and the teams that we can compete with. So I just like learned a lot of like our potential to go do that again, and also just like the joy of playing in an NCAA tournament. Like that was unlike anything else playing both of those times. So.
The team opened up this season down in Virginia and then played a couple of games in Florida during spring break. What have you seen out of this year's team?
This year's team, it's kind of like any other team. Each season for me is totally different with the teammates that we have there. And I think this year, like obviously we lost a lot of girls, like our seniors from last year, but I think we're gonna have like freshmen, sophomores, like make a huge statement. And also the good thing about freshmen is like no one knows them in the conference. So like they're just gonna like step up, and I think it's gonna be really awesome. Like starting on Saturday and against Catholic, it's just gonna be super fun to just like go and like do our like basically we have so much potential, and I just like wanna actually execute on that and what we can do.
Recently, Gore set the home run record, and it really must have been exciting and incredible to see. Can you talk about what that means for the program and kind of what you've learned from her approach?
Yeah, well, that was so awesome getting to celebrate with her. And anytime someone hits a home run, like our whole team goes crazy. But that one, it was just extra crazy. So it was cool to just to get to celebrate that with her. And just like from Jackie, like she's one of my favorite teammates to play next to. And she's just so enthusiastic and cares about the game, like actually has a passion for softball. And just like getting to celebrate that with her is awesome. And just like learning from her to, like no matter what, just like keep going, like still have that passion for softball, and to like keep doing well.
And the team was picked third in the preseason poll. How has the team used that as motivation for this year?
I think for those polls, like all of us always kind of joke around with preseason polls. Like for both sports, it's like, all right, that's just a number. Like that doesn't mean anything for this season. And I think like concentrating too much on like, oh, like we have to beat these two teams, or like we have to do that is not very beneficial for us. Like we've beaten teams that are better than people in our conference. So like I think that is motivation to like we want to be number one. Like we want to be that number one. That's always been our goal. So I think just like again, we kind of expected that like to be 3, but we were just like, okay, well, like, we're gonna prove them wrong. Like we're gonna be 1 then, which is cool.
You're a biomed major here at Susquehanna. Where do you see yourself after your time at Susquehanna?
So right now I'm looking at grad schools and to be a physician assistant. So I'm looking at applying to schools there now. So then hopefully like next year I'll either be like accepted or at interviews or something like that to be a physician assistant.
And then here at Susquehanna, we also have the Global Opportunities Program where students expand their horizons and they study in different cultures. Where do you think you're going to go abroad, and where have you decided to go on your go trip?
So I obviously I can't go long. If I quit a sport, then I would be able to. But I also looked at the Go Short programs, and none really grabbed my attention. So I'm doing Go Your Own Way, and I'm actually going to Tanzania in Africa, and I'm there for 2.5 weeks. And the first week, we're actually with a program called Young Life, and I'm Young Life leader here too. So that program just grabbed my attention. And the first week we're in a village there, and just get to do missionary work there in that village. And then the second week we're actually climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, which is so cool to climb a mountain like that. But yeah, so that's my plan for Go Your Own Way.
We wish you and your team the best of luck going forward this season.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank Kasey Bost from the Susquehanna women's volleyball and softball teams here at Susquehanna University. I'm your host, Josh Klein. We hope to catch you on our next edition of the SU Riverhawk Spotlight.